Gotta drink beer.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the pod. I think we need to do like a cheers this time because I wanted like a better picture. Welcome back to the podcast.
How do we?
Two
Oh,
brews.
like we? Do I go like?
We just have to show that we just have to go. Dink. No, but I just want to like a little nice little thumbnail there.
For when we drink it, like when we're about to drink it, we'd be like,
yeah, we gotta cheers. Cheers, every
dude. You know the problem? Let me show you the problem with mine. It's not that big of a problem. Can you flip camera on Zoom? Yeah, you can. Here's what my camera is sitting on. So when I'm trying to like, so the phone is like right here. I'm like,
you just knocked that over.
It's like
a nice stack. That's a hefty stack of books. Very well.
Yeah, this is
condition. That's a good condition right there.
That's my knowledge right there. Civil, criminal, tort.
Is that what you've already learned, or is that what you're going to learn?
I read these bitches first semester.
Okay. Have you started the internship yet?
Yeah, actually.
And how is that going?
It's pretty whatever. Actually, I'm probably just gonna get drunk today. I'm on camera. I was gonna tell you something that was a plan, but I'm not gonna say that. Whatever. I think I have something going on, but I can start it. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be so fucking boring. Have I told you what it is?
You said, are you just reading papers or something? Research?
Kind of. I'm basically, a computer should be doing this. It just can't yet for whatever reason. So I'm doing like dummy work.
Yeah.
It's for a patent project, and we have 20,000 cases, I think, from the United States in the past 4 years, all about patents. Me and like 10 other people have to read through all 20,000. We split them up. And it's to create like a search engine, basically. Yeah. So once it's done within the law field, there's 15 categories of cases. It can be suing for using the patent wrong, suing for you're actually the inventor.
So do you actually have to read all of them? Or do you just have to like
not like top to bottom? You have to read enough to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like what are they suing for, and what's the other party like defending for, whatever. And you literally but that's why it's so dumb. You just put it, you're like, oh, they're suing for infringement. That's category 1, and you're done with that case.
Okay.
And you go to the next one, and a computer just can't make out the language good enough to do it.
So and then you're a computer, baby.
I'm doing computer work, and when I'm done, like people in the field will be able to use this sort of search engine to find like the statistical case rate of patents.
You know, not very long ago, most people's jobs were doing things like that.
Just doing that? Well, it's
just like random paperwork. Like, you know, before people were paid electronically, someone had to like go through and write down everyone's check, how much they made, and then mail it to them.
And just do the numbers down the line and stamp it and stamp it and stamp it. It fucking sucks. It feels so unimportant. Like, I'm cool with it because I don't really care. But
yeah, I'm thinking about getting a full-time job like during summer while I'm going to school full-time, but it's only it's not that hard. So I'm thinking about getting a job full-time, and one of the jobs that I potentially could get is like a I forgot the actual name, but it's like you basically like input data into a system.
Yep, I got offered that.
Yeah, so it's data analyst. It's called something like that.
Yeah.
But you basically just they give you information and you just plug it into the system, and it's like $17 an hour, $18 an hour.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And you're just like you're just typing all day long, like but it's something.
No, I think that's chill. You'd be making money. It's just crazy to me that they're almost strict on who does that type. It's like it's such easy work.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we need someone with these qualifications.
Right now, it's actually kind of easy to get these kind of jobs because with COVID and like the unemployment stuff and all that that's going on in the checks and all that, there's like no one that's trying to work unless they make like good money. Because you make more money right now from unemployment than you would like working for $18 an hour.
Yeah.
So most people aren't working. Like people are like, I'm not gonna go back to work if I'm making minimum wage. So there's tons of jobs, like people hiring.
Yeah, well, this is a whole like a whole different topic.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of cool because you got to pay people. I mean, if you're into capitalism, I know you're like a capitalist guy. That's just is capitalism. They're like, pay us or fuck off.
No, but that's not what they're doing. They're saying pay us or we're gonna live off the government aid.
Yeah,
but it's only because
that's
the
just
government.
Capitalism, baby.
Well, I'm not saying they shouldn't do that. I would do that
Yeah.
also.
Yeah.
If I can get unemployment, might as well. I mean, like abuse the system that we have, of course.
Yeah.
But right now they boosted it because of COVID to an extra $600 a week.
Uh-huh.
So there's people making like $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year off of just unemployment, which is ridiculous. Like, let's be honest.
Well, okay, I don't think anyone's making 50,000. I don't know, but
they match up to if depending on your job, I think they match up to like 80% of what you were making before you.
Oh yeah, Thomas had that. Yeah, so if you're on
so some people are making a lot of money, like
because they're out of a good job, basically.
But everybody's making like, I think it's like 1,200 a week or something.
Yeah.
Which is a lot. Like that's a lot of money.
Wait, 1,200 a week?
Or sorry. I think it's like they boosted it $600. I think
so a week. I thought it was like 1,800 a month or something like that.
It's definitely more than that. Because I know people who are like they're intentionally not going back to work because they're making more money not working than they used to working.
Yeah.
And they had decent jobs, so it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's kind of crazy. But anyway,
cool. So anyways.
So people will work I'm working maybe it's called data entry, like a data entry job.
Yep.
And I'm just like, oof, don't know if I want to do that, but it's all good. Builds the resume a little bit.
Put some music on or something.
Yeah.
And listen to a podcast.
It's just for the summer too, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah, that'd be chill.
That'd be chill. Anyway, let's get into this review. Two Bros, Two Brews. What's this called? Elysian?
Elysian Space Dust.
Elysian Space Dust IPA.
That's how I pronounce it. Maybe I'm wrong.
Elysian probably sounds right. Something like that. But it's got a nice hop on there.
With some space dust coming out.
Some dust coming out of his mouth. It's going pretty hard. This is like what is it? What did we say it was?
8.2%.
8.2%.
I believe. I had this like a couple of years ago. I've tried it twice ever. And both times it tasted so strong, like I hated it. And I like strong beers too. But maybe third time's a charm. I can't remember what it tastes like.
I can't remember what it tastes like either. I've had it once also.
Like almost making a face when I tasted. I was like, holy shit. Like it's bitter. It's like really bitter.
Yeah, I think it was one of the first, when I started drinking beer, it was like one of the first IPAs that I had. And
because you see it everywhere.
I don't know if I like IPAs because it hits. It's a strong one, but I don't remember what it tastes like at all. So maybe I'll like it now. We'll see.
I'm ready. I want to try it.
Pop it.
Yeah, I want to pop it off.
Elysian Space Dust. Hop it up. That's nice. Little sniff like it's wine.
You smelled it. It's just it smells like a beer.
Smells like a IPA.
Can't tell.
It looks orangey. I mean, it's like through a bottle, but if you kind of like try to look at the color, it looks like orangey.
A little bit, yeah.
Right? I know.
Yeah.
Wanna try?
Cool.
School.
That's okay. That's better than I remember.
Yeah, it's better than I remember too.
Like
it's really strong, but it's smooth.
Yeah. That's,
like for an IPA, it doesn't bite that hard. You know what I mean?
I think I was the same as you. It was one of the first IPAs I tried, so I thought it was like disgusting because now it tastes fine.
Yeah, it tastes good, especially for 8.8%. Like that's pretty strong.
It definitely is bitter though. I like it. Like
it kind of
sits in your mouth after.
Yeah, the back of my tongue is the flavor does not disappear.
I feel
that'll
like
be there for a few hours.
I was gonna say you get through one beer and it's gonna be like with you. Like
yeah, I definitely could not have a sixer of this.
No,
unless it was like unless I was like going bananas.
Well, you'd be hammered too.
Yeah.
You'd be drunk as fuck.
Yeah. What is that? So it's like it's probably like 2 or 3 shots worth of alcohol, right?
Yeah, it's like 2.5 domestic beers, something like that, like 2.5 Bud Lights roughly.
Yeah. So that's a hitter. Couple sips of
Yeah,
this, and
if
you're
3.
even one. Jesus. Even right now. No, I'm just kidding.
I already feel it.
I'm already turned.
I kind of don't like beers that like really sit on your mouth.
The way that, yeah.
And especially if I'm like eating food or basically doing anything except drinking.
Yeah.
It like masks the flavor of everything else, you know?
Like air.
Yeah, no, like actually like air. I feel like I need to brush my teeth or something.
Yeah, I just took another sip, and it was a bad sip. I took it weird, you know, but I got like full flavor of just like rotten citrus fruit, like rotten oranges is what it tasted like. Like an orange that's like a few days too bad.
Yeah.
And it's kind of gross. It's really citrusy, but like bad citrusy, I think. I don't actually, the more I'm tasting it, the less I like it, straight up.
Yeah, it's gonna.
It's like there's like layers. There's layers building on my tongue where it's like, okay, the first sip was good. It just tastes like an IPA, and now it's like, ooh, like another layer, and then now I'm just getting so many layers of bitter, and like the fruitiness is getting stronger, even though it's like, but it's not good fruity.
Yeah.
It's like it's like moldy, like the orange you probably shouldn't be eating.
No, it's
found
like
it on the side of the road.
Great taste,
no.
But there's a lot of them. I just don't get why it's so popular. I see this probably like almost every bar I go to, restaurant, they're serving it.
It's a name for sure. It's a good name.
I mean, but for how strong, there's not that many people that want a beer this heavy. Like,
yeah, but I don't know. I was thinking about it on the way home. I was like, if I made a beer after picking this up, I was like, if I made a beer, you would have to make it, especially in like the market nowadays, the name would have to be so dank. And like Space Dust, people are like, oh, I want to try some Space Dust.
No, it sounds cool. It looks pretty fucking cool.
It looks cool, yeah. That's why though. I can almost guarantee. I mean, it's good. It's not like disgusting, but it is a strong IPA, like for sure a strong IPA. In the IPA category, I think you're usually just getting like a fruity, like kind of strong flavor. This is like the next level.
But you have to almost prepare yourself for this.
Yeah.
You're like, wow.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It is.
What would you rate it on the piss scale? Which, by the way, piss scale 1 to 10. 1 tastes delicious, 10 tastes like piss. So if it's a 10, you're drinking urine.
It just gets closer and closer to piss flavor. I have no clue. I'm gonna start by saying like a 4, but because it's so strong,
yeah,
I'm gonna get halfway through this and be like, I changed my mind.
Once this gets warm, it's gonna be bad.
I'm probably gonna hate it by the time I'm done with it, but it's a good start.
I wouldn't not drink this again. Like I will finish that 6-pack and I'll be fine with it. I'll enjoy it with some dinner. I'll enjoy it with some mac and cheese, some steaks, maybe like some breakfast if I'm really feeling it on a Sunday morning. I don't know.
Yeah, for a good start.
But I'm actually gonna say it's a 7 out of 10.
7. I might be,
and that's and I'm also, that's overall, but also for the IPA category. Like for the IPA category, this is, I would say it's not bad, it's not disgusting, but it's not good. Like I wouldn't say this is like, I really love this IPA.
Well, I can't think, I feel like I already said this, I can't think of a time that I would want to drink it, you know, because some really like kind of fruitier IPAs, it's like a summer drink or whatever. This is not that. No. And this is like not for dinner. I don't know when people are drinking this.
This is probably like I just lost my job, Bitcoin crashed 50%. I need to sit in my room and just fucking go to space. That's what this is.
I feel like this is for when you want to honestly get drunk, like in public, but you don't want people to know.
Yeah.
Like the guy.
Like you don't want to order vodka shots. You know, like,
he doesn't want to see people. He doesn't want people to see him drinking 5 beers. Yeah. So he pulls out the Space Dust. He's like, I'll just have 2.
Yeah. How many beers did you have? I just had a couple, like one or just like 2 or 3. Yeah, 2 or 3. Officer. Yeah. How you doing, officer? Sir, have you been drinking tonight? I just had a beer. It's no big deal.
Yeah, this is like when you want to be sneaky drunk, I think.
Yeah. And you're not trying to roll up to a party with a bottle of whiskey or a jug of wine. You just want a couple beers.
Just like the chill people do, you know, just a drink or 2.
Yeah, I'd say 7 out of 10. I'd say it's it's tolerable is how I would describe it. I would not go out of my way to be like, I want some space dust tonight.
No,
I want a nice, which it's unfortunate because I think the marketing is great, and it lives
you're
up to
really
its
into
name.
this. You're really into the space dust thing.
I think the marketing is great, but the it lives up to its expectations. I think 8.8% space dust. Like you're expecting it to be really strong. It literally has a hop as the freaking picture.
Yeah,
Like,
if nothing else, the reputation is there.
Yeah.
If you want a stupid strong beer, like
I haven't drank
this
it.
is
I
it.
don't think I've taken a sip in like I might have just
Actually,
taken
what's
one.
what's
It's still
what's
on
the
my tongue though.
IBUs on this? Because I think they normally put what the IBUs are.
I don't know what that means, to be honest.
Oh, they don't have it on the can. So IBU is international bitterness units, and IPAs they normally label that.
I can
And it's
Google it
just
real
like the
fast.
higher it is, the more bitter, the stronger flavor. This has got to be up there.
Excuse my typing.
You say you're Googling it?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to say it's like
62 IBU.
okay, yeah, that's getting up there.
I
think there's some that are around 80. Because I don't want to say it's like crazy bitter if it's actually not.
It's
but yeah, that's up.
Its rating out of 330,000 people is a 3.8. So it's not bad. It's not like I'm definitely being harsh. You said a 4, so that's good. Like that's pretty good. That's above average. Like 5, if 5 is average, then you're saying it's above average. I'm saying it's a 7.
I don't know how I feel about it. Yeah,
I haven't taken a sip in probably 2 minutes, and it's still there.
Yeah, which is a huge negative.
It's a negative. Yeah, that's a negative.
I don't
like
that.
I mean, it's not like good flavor. It's like you're like, ooh, that aftertaste. I'm not really.
It's gonna make you feel full at the same time too, because
that's thick.
You're still aware that it's on your mouth.
Yeah. If you want to skip dinner and get drunk, this is a good meal. It's a nice meal. It's a nice beer.
Every situation you should drink this in is kind of a sad one. To be honest.
Trying to get drunk at a barbecue and not let people
for those
know.
rough days.
Have an Elysian Space Dust.
Can't afford dinner. Have Space Dust.
Yeah, buy $15 worth. Buy a 6-pack for $15.
When you have to make a choice between the two.
Do you want sushi or do you want to get drunk? That's what this is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna come back to it because it's gonna take me a little bit.
Yeah, that's how you know it's good. You put the cap back on.
Can't let it be coming out too much.
Yeah.
Those aromas.
But it's worth trying. It's fun. This one's a fun one to try, for sure.
Yeah.
And I definitely didn't remember how it tasted, but
well, and I could see. I guess
will.
on a final note, if you're one of those guys that's like weirdly into IPAs, it's all you drink. I could see ending up like this, you know, almost like hot sauce. That you get hotter and hotter.
Yeah. True.
There could totally be a guy who's like, this is like everything else lacks flavor because you get used to.
But it's almost like not in like a cool like a bro way, kind of in like a I only drink my IPAs at 8.2%.
Yeah, no, it's still sad. Like
you don't like Elysian, you don't like Space Dust, dude. What the heck? No, you don't like Space Dust? That's my favorite beer. Who doesn't like an 8.2% broski on a Wednesday night?
Tasty. What's our we're talking about your competition? We doing your competition?
Sure. Yeah. Talking about Jiu Jitsu. I competed for the second time as a white belt.
Yeah.
And I won 1, lost 2. The 2 that I lost was points, which is nice. I really have like a submit only kind of attitude, I think, towards jiu-jitsu. Like even in training, I like if I'm on top and someone sweeps me, but I'm in like close guard, I don't care at all. I'm like, this is where I want to be, so thank you. Like you're giving me control. That's how I feel.
Okay.
Which I'm not saying is a good mindset, but it is my mindset.
I think it's totally fine. I'm the opposite personally, I think, but there's a lot of people like that. So
I just want to submit someone. Like I mean, I don't want to be like dominated and then get like a lucky submission, you know?
Yeah.
Like obviously the whole point of jiu-jitsu is to control somebody. And if you're just pulling guard instantly, that's not really controlling. So I have been working a lot on my stand-up, but in this tournament setting, my goal was to just submit people. I wasn't trying to sweep 2 points and then just hold side control. Like that's not.
Were you like watching the scoreboard per se? Were you like
I
because a lot of
I had
people
no
will look
idea.
at the points and be like, I need 2 points or something.
I had no idea.
Oh,
No.
yo, so you're for real. You're like, fuck the points.
Well, it's not. Yeah, it's not that. It's. I mean, if I had like 20 seconds left and I was up by 1 point, I'd probably stall. Like if I was in close guard, I would just stall.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm not gonna hunt for the submission last second and like give him a guard pass and lose
just to lose the match. Yeah.
But I wasn't aware, and I don't want to complain, but there's a lot of people that have agreed with me, or actually they brought it up, and I agree with them, and including my coach. My coach was very unhappy with how the tournament went in terms
Really?
of the refs. So the refs were like, eesh. Like,
were they young or not giving points, or like what was their
no, they were
deal?
just giving points that probably should not have been given. And they would also give penalties for like one of the kids. He was a kid. He's an orange belt. He was fighting against blue belts, and he broke guard, stepped back, pulled his pants up, and like started engaging again. And the ref gave him a point, like a penalty for evading. Like he said, you're evading the match.
Like pulled his pants up?
Because he walked back, pulled his pants up, and then like went back in because he broke the guard. Broke the guard, stood up, walked back, pulled his pants up, and then went back in to like re-engage. And he got two. So in this tournament, there's no penalties. So if you get a penalty, you just give the other person 2 points. So he got a penalty.
Isn't that worse actually? Because a penalty is.
Oh yeah, it is worse. It is worse.
Yeah.
A penalty, you can lose on a penalty. So if we're fighting each other, I have 0 points, you have 0 points, but I have one penalty, then it goes to penalties. So after points, it goes to penalties.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so you got like that, and then for me, they gave this dude points for passing my guard, but my knee was like deep into him. Like I was inside. He was like trying to pass my guard in side control, but I was like deep. Like it was deep, you know. Like I had my knee. Yeah, he got points for that for a guard pass.
That's literally not a pass.
Yeah, it was pretty. There's some points that like people deserved,
because side control, I guess for anyone who wouldn't know or whatever, you need to be like chest to chest, like perpendicular on the person. If there's a leg in the way or anything like that, a
foot, anything,
that's never considered points.
Yeah, and that happened. But I also I had this guy, and it was like open guard, I guess. Yeah. And I started standing up, but then he just like moved forward a bit. Like he just like so I was in guard, and he like comes towards me.
Yeah.
I like push up to start standing up to like break it, and then he like takes me down, but I wasn't up yet. You know what I'm saying? Like he was still in my guard, and they gave him points for a takedown, which that one could maybe be argued, but it was weird.
It sounds like they were just kind of throwing.
Yeah, and we are white belts, and like whatever they did, they refed like 100 matches, so I understand kind of, but it was kind of bad. But that's not why I lost. I didn't submit him, so that's
well, so the matches start on your feet always, right?
Yeah.
And you had 3, I guess. How did it go from the feet to the ground for you in those 3?
Yeah, so because I'm way better at pulling guard and horrible at stand up, in training I've been working on stand up quite a bit, but I'm still just like I'm probably 20 times better at my guard than Top Game. Maybe more, maybe 100 times better. Like it's crazy how much better I am.
Yeah.
So the first match, I started on the feet, grabbed his. Actually, he engaged me, but I was like faking shots, you know. So I was making him kind of like
making
ready.
Like guess or whatever.
And he grabbed. You've probably seen the clip, but he grabs me, and then I just grabbed him, threw my foot into his hips, and like threw him in the air. And then I got him in. So I went on my back for guard. I threw him in the air, and then I should have armbarred, but I didn't know about that move.
I've never done it. You weren't going for that?
I was going for a triangle.
It looked like you were going for an armbar because that's like the thing to do.
Yeah. And I would have
called it a tomanage.
I would have got him probably too. I would have.
It was right there. I was watching it. I was like the armbar slipped away because I thought that was what he wanted.
Well, I mean, I just threw him down, and then I just swung my leg over, and I had him in a triangle. It wasn't locked, but it was like here. You know, I had my feet crossed, and I'm new. I'm pretty bad at Jiu Jitsu, and you just make mistakes when it's that fast paced. It's in a tournament. You're not really thinking clearly. But if I would have just grabbed his head, if I would have grabbed the top of his head and just pulled him down, I could have like closed my guard and won right there. Mm-hmm. And that was like 10 seconds into the match. but that match ended up stalling out. I don't think I got any points. I don't actually remember. I think he passed my guard once, and that's how I lost. I can't actually remember. So it was like 3-0 is how I lost, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he passed my guard at like middle of the match, and then I recovered it. And I was just throwing up submissions. Like I probably had like 3. If I was like a purple belt in the same situation, I would have finished 3 triangles. Like the triangles were there. I just kept like, I wasn't bringing his posture good. I wasn't pulling his head. I was like pulling his neck. So he was
just those
yeah,
finishing.
it was just little
mechanics,
things. Yeah, just little things that I
Yeah.
missed. I wasn't like throwing
Okay.
my hips high enough. So my hips weren't like going deep enough. And I was just
Mhm.
crossing my leg. Yeah, it was just little things like that. So I missed a few triangles and I lost that match for points. But I was happy with that performance, actually. I mean, I was upset that I lost, but I was really upset because I missed out on that armbar at the beginning and the triangle.
Dude, if you knew the armbar because it was there,
Yeah,
that's a highlight reel. Like
yeah,
that.
I
That
know.
move looks so cool to pull it off.
I know.
And you had a perfect launch. This guy flies in the air,
Yeah, it was.
and his arm is like, oh man, I watched that actually when he posted it.
Yeah.
Like 10 times in a row. I was like, yo, it was so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's really funny because one of my teammates, a girl, she did that move earlier in the day and she got the armbar.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, and I was feeling so stupid because I never tried it with an armbar. And my goal was just to like, that was my guard pull. I actually wanted to throw him over me and get mount.
Oh
but
yeah.
The funny, so he was like running into me when I pulled guard. So I wasn't actually pulling yet. Like I didn't use any strength yet. It was just like the motion. So it was just pure
he throws himself, right?
Yeah, he threw himself. So I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't pulling it. I wasn't expecting him to fly over me. So when I grabbed his collar and I pulled guard, he just flew over me. I wasn't expecting it. So I didn't pull and I didn't go for the mount. I didn't roll over.
Yeah.
It was unfortunate because I just wasn't expecting it. Like he
That's good
flew so
experience, though, and it's
easily.
cool.
Yeah. But yeah, it was still cool that I got the attempt. He didn't have any submission attempts on me. He just got the guard pass. Like in terms of jiu-jitsu, if we're not talking about tournament, like I think I was kind of dominant. Was
it a 2-0 match then?
It was. I think guard pass was 3 in that tournament, but I could be wrong. It was either 3-0 or 5-0. He might have got
guard pass is 3. I think guard pass is 3. So
he might have got points for a takedown at some point. I don't really remember.
Okay.
I could probably look it up, but I think it was 3-0. I'm pretty sure it was 3-0 or something like that. But yeah, it was just little mistakes, letting him pass my guard, and then I didn't let him, but he passed my guard.
Yeah. And
he was actually a good route. He won the tournament. He ended up winning. He got first.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Cool. So, but yeah, just missed some submissions, which sucked. But it's learning experience. It's not a big deal.
What about the other two? I'm just really curious. Always in competition, how did the other two go from like the feet to the ground? Did you just pull guard on them basically?
The second match is the one I won.
Yeah.
And so this tournament was like double elimination. So you lose 2 and you're out, or you fight until you win, or you fight until it's over. I mean, so the second match, it's funny, I forget actually, but I think he pulled guard on me because I was like, I don't remember what I was doing something stupid, but I was just like, I was kind of upset, I think that I messed up the last one. So I was like, I'll just stand with this guy or whatever.
Yeah.
And he pulled guard and then he like went to a foot lock, and I don't even know if it was deep, but I didn't feel any, like it didn't hurt at all. Like it wasn't strong.
He probably doesn't know how to do it right.
Yeah, he was relatively new to jiu-jitsu. He actually trains with one of our affiliates, which is kind of funny. So
cool.
It's like guys that I train with were coaching him. And then Mike, it's kind of funny. But he he went for a foot lock. He pulled guard first and I was like, damn it, but it was fine. And then I just I started like going for his back. So I just like slipped the leg and then started going for his back. Because he had the, what I'm saying? Like he had the foot on my hip. He was doing the foot lock. Yeah. I went for his back, and then after a while he lets go of it. I don't think I passed his guard, but I think that he sweeped me. But like I kind of let him a little bit.
Because you're more comfortable on bottom, right? So you lean into it a little bit.
Yeah. And then so he swept me, but I got into a triangle because of that sweep. And then after I get the triangle, he like clears and lets me sweep him because he didn't want to get triangled. And I had like kind of it was a weird position, but I was like sitting on him.
Is this the one you just posted?
Yeah.
I saw it looked like you were in like almost an omoplata.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Position.
I was going for an omoplata, but he like rolled weird. So I just like sat on him and I was like, I don't know what to do here. And he like tried to triangle me, like reverse. And I just like grabbed his pants and I was just like literally sitting on him, like on his side, basically.
Yeah.
And I was facing the wrong direction. So I wasn't towards him. I was away from him. And I was like thinking, I was like, I don't know what to do right now. Cause
it looked awkward. Like you were almost fucked. Cause if he could have probably done something there, but he messed up.
Yeah. Yeah. So I grabbed his pants to like, hopefully not let him move. And then I grabbed his collar.
Yeah.
And then I just turned into him because I was like, all right, I mean, I got to do something. I don't want to turn the other way because he'll grab my back. So I turned into him, tried to like mount. And I grabbed his collar, grabbed his sleeve, and he like, and I was gonna go for a triangle. So I was gonna go for a mounted triangle, but I like slipped over and then he like sat up to sweep me. So I turned into him, he sat up with me. I fell on my back and then I like locked up a triangle and finished him.
I was watching because you just posted that on like your Instagram, I think. I watched that video. I just get into this stuff. So I watched that like 5 times in a row.
Yeah.
And it looks like, for one, I was like, how did you end up in that position? It was kind of
I'm doing a little like YouTube series thing.
Yeah.
And I just started it. I'm gonna like track my progress from white belt to black belt.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And so I'm gonna do like a weekly or whatever, a monthly video of just like me rolling or like my tournaments or whatever, and to kind of like go over them. So I will post like the entire matches.
If you do that like long, that'll be really cool.
Yeah.
Because you know, at some point you can look back at old ones.
Exactly. That's, I think it'll be really fun. Even if it's not,
compare the footage.
Yeah. It'll just be cool to see. And also people can see like, all right, he sucked balls as a white belt and now he's a black belt or whatever, brown belt, purple belt. Yeah. It's like, all right, people actually do get better if they just stick with it, you know?
Well,
like
you'll end up in similar positions on video and you'll say, here's what I did do that was really dumb.
Yeah.
And then you'll be like, now here's what I do now that's not dumb.
Yeah.
And I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was watching that though, because you're in like this weird position and you roll over. And I try to look at both sides. I'm like, how did the guy, which is you, get the submission?
Yeah.
And then what did the other guy do wrong? Because it's normally both at the same time. You need both. And he rolled over and it looked like he was so excited to get on top, basically. He stuck his neck like out and up. Because you want to be postured when you're on top.
Yeah.
I kept watching it and he was not aware that the triangle was there.
Yeah.
Because if he put his head down like this much, he almost slipped out of it. He just didn't even know that he was in it, is what it looks like. So he pushes himself into it and he gets choked out.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, bro.
And I was trying to clear his arm, but he was like pretty strong on that arm. So I just was like, all right, gonna squeeze and pull his head down and see what happens. But I probably would have, if he would have like tucked his arm out of, I'm pretty good at omoplatas for a white belt. And so I probably would have omoplated after that. But I was super happy to get, because I had my first tournament, I lost both matches and I was terrible. And like, I deserved to lose those. And it was both, like every one of the matches was just bad. Neither person seemed like they know what they were doing. It's actually kind of interesting because I feel like I'm the only person who ever goes for submissions whenever I fight. Like everyone that I go against, they don't even try to sub me. They're just trying to they're trying to pass my guard and then just stall. And I'm like, God, like kill me, like choke me out, like rip my arm off.
When I competed, I've had I think I've had 4 matches in competition only, maybe.
Yeah.
They would go for like really dumb submissions and I would end up in a great spot after it. Like you know, I think it's called the clock choke. I actually don't even know how to do it.
From Signature?
No, that's why it's dumb. Like that would have been smart. They would do it from like neutral / open guard, where you grab the collar and they roll almost like a gator or something. And if you hold on to the collars and you keep it, it's a choke. But they flatten out and roll, and so they don't get it. And I end up like in mount. I'm like, why would you do that? Yeah. Like from their perspective. And it actually sucks. I looked at my coach. This was, I think, my first competition match ever. Mm-hmm. It was like, you know, first 20 seconds or something. He pulled guard and he did something weird. And he grabbed both my collars and did like a straight up gator roll. And it was really tight for like 2 seconds. I looked at my coach and I had this like at his eyes, and I had this look of fear. I was like, he got me. But you know, you can be getting choked and like
someone lets go or whatever.
Not even letting go. You have like, it takes like 5-6 seconds to
Yeah.
like be choked out or
Yeah,
something.
to go out unconscious.
It was tight, and I just hadn't moved, and I literally like moved around him, and it like unraveled. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, what an idiot. And then some other guy did the same thing from like standing.
Yeah.
He went for like an absolute power guillotine. I think I probably went for double
Ooh.
leg or something.
Yeah.
And he fucking yeets the shit. And it was the same thing. It hit right on my Adam's apple. And I was like, again, I'm like, I fucked up. But for me, I get that, like, that's the first thought I have is like, I just fucked up so bad. But then like whatever. That's what people would do. And I would get out in a couple seconds and they would be in a horrible position.
Yeah.
Because they jump submissions.
Yeah. And I mean, in my first tournament, that's what happened. I like was going for a bunch of triangles and arm bars and stuff. And they would just like, I would be able to retain my guard for a second, but they would just keep like underhooking, like trying to pass my guard. And I was very new. And even now I'd probably still get passed if someone like just controls my pants.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. I threw up an arm bar and then they just like sweep me, or not sweep me.
Yeah. Cause if you do it loosely and per se, you're giving them something.
Yeah.
So I see a good amount of that as well. No, I was curious about how you go from standing to neutral, because when I would compete, I would try to pull guard too, generally speaking. And but I wrestled for like 6 years, right? So I'm comfortable in neutral, and I feel like a lot of people at white belt aren't.
See, I don't know. A lot of people wrestled that in my tournaments. They all tried to like take you down, so it like worked out really well for me.
Because you want to pull guard.
Because I want to pull guard, yeah.
And they want to take you down.
Yeah. So that like their whole strategy is like get points for takedowns, and I'm like, nah.
Yeah. I don't mean people don't try to do it. I mean, I feel really comfortable
because they're bad at it.
Yeah, because they're bad at it. Yeah, and because I wrestled and I wasn't even good at wrestling. But I'm like, I can hang with these people. A lot of them never wrestled. And most times we'd both be not really doing anything on the feet, and I'd get bored and I'd pull guard. And like my second or third match, this dude's got to be 40 or something. He was telling me he wanted to sign up for the older division, but there was no one, so he had to go with the young adults.
Yeah.
And he fucked me up so bad. I'm thinking normally people are nervous on the feet, even if they want to wrestle.
Yeah.
They hesitate, you feel each other out. So I'm thinking, oh, this is like an old man basically. And I'm like, I'm comfortable. So we go, and I kind of like come up to him, grab onto him a bit or whatever. Under 4 seconds, this man grabs me and does like, he yeeted me. It's not even a foot sweep. I'm sure there's a name for it. He threw me and threw himself, where people pull you onto him. Yeah. And he like kicked my legs out at the same time. So in a matter of like 4 seconds, we shake hands, and he fucking throws me across the mat and like lands on me. I'm like, holy shit. I think he beat me. I think he's the only guy I lost to too. Yeah. But dude, it's like traumatic, because from now on, when I start on the feet with someone, I'm like, this guy could go crazy in 2 seconds. You don't know what they're gonna do. Yeah. So yeah, it kind of made me scared. But I was wondering if anyone did anything like that with you, because it's so out of pocket and it's effective.
No.
Okay.
But it's because I really pull guard quick. As soon as grips are made, I pull guard. I don't even care if I have like a good guard pull. Like I'll sit down if I need to.
Okay.
Like I'm comfortable there. Now I don't think I should be because I suck, but I am comfortable there. Okay. But I mean, usually I can get a foot in. Like the first match, I pulled guard really fast, but he was like going in for like trying to wrestle, like trying to get like whatever.
Over. Yeah, do the whole
like thing. Collar ties and all that. And I was like, nah. And then he threw himself almost. So I got lucky there.
That's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, no one went for anything crazy. The craziest thing was that guy who pulled guard on me. And I was like, that's not expected.
He hit you with that reverse card.
Yeah.
Well, what I was kind of curious about is, what do you, I guess, like mentally, what's your preparation, maybe physically too, like the week of a competition? Because I think I remember you telling me you're not nervous or anything. I get super fucking stressed. So like, how do you feel? How do you approach competitions, I guess?
I think it's because I'm a white belt, and even probably at like any belt besides black belt. I just feel like my mindset is, if I win, well, then I'm just a good white belt. and like everyone else just hasn't had time to get as good as me, right?
Yeah.
And if I lose, I'm like, I'm a white belt. Like maybe they've been white belt for 2 years. I don't know.
So it's
So that's
whatever.
why, yeah. So it's just because that's how I go into it. Because you don't know with white belts, you know. Like I went against a white belt in your gym, and he smoked my ass like bad.
Yeah,
Like I got
yeah,
so
man.
manhandled. It was
Yeah.
insane. And this was a few months ago, but still, I was like, I have never been dominated that like purple belts don't even dominate me that bad sometimes, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was
yeah.
like, he was bigger than me, but he was shorter than me, so he was probably like 150 or something. He was, you know,
He's
and
around my weight.
yeah. And I was just like, holy like, oh, like that guy just kicked my ass, and he was 0 stripes. So yeah, I just go into it where it's like, I really don't know, you know, like they could be world champ white belts. They could be literally IBJJF, like trying to win worlds as a white belt.
Yeah.
Or they could be like really good wrestlers. You know, they could have been like
You get
one
college.
state. Yeah. They could be college wrestlers, like one state. Or they could be me. Like they could be worse than me. They could just be some nerdy dude who's just trying to do jiu-jitsu, and they've been training for 2 months. And yeah.
I guess one of the things that stresses me out a lot is I don't care about losing too much, but I definitely care about, and you're paying money, like $100 or something.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And most tournaments are single elimination. So if you lose, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
Then like my biggest fear is losing in like 20 seconds. You know, that could be immediately choked out or something.
Yeah.
I'd be like, it's not that I lost, it's that I spent money on this. I cut weight.
Yeah.
And it's not that I'm like, oh, I'm just a white belt. It's like I'm so bad. I'm blue belt now, but it's like I'm so bad. I shouldn't have even been here.
Yeah.
Like, that would ruin my day, like my week, if that happened, I think.
Yeah. Maybe it's because like the tournaments I did, both of them were double elimination. So that's probably a little bit stressful.
There's some cushion there. There's like you can rebound or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this tournament, I lost my first one, but won the second, and then lost the third. And the third one was for third place. And I just was so tired that one. But yeah, it's that. So it's double elimination. I don't cut weight. So I'm like naturally like 1 pound underneath the weight limit with my gi on.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's I'm like perfect weight for it. But I mean, obviously the people who cut weight have an advantage, I suppose, depending on how you look at it. But yeah, I don't have to cut weight. I got double elimination. It's like my whole team does it. So there's like literally like 50 people from Aries that go to that tournament. Cool. And there's like a couple gyms around here. So like all those gyms are like one team, you know? So that's another thing. It's like not all the pressure's on me. I'm white belt. I don't like no one expects anything from me. If I win, like that's cool. But if I win, it's also okay. That just means that all these white belts were like trash. Like I know I'm not good. Like I'm white belt, you know? Or it's like if I lose, it's like, oh, maybe that guy should have been a blue belt. Like, you know, maybe his coach would promote him.
Well, okay, there's one thing I'm really curious about, because I was thinking about this today about like competing. And it sounds like I'm a dick, but I think people do this. I wonder if you've had this. So when I was getting ready for my first competition, I was trying to ask the upper belts how they work. And I was like, how do submissions work? Like if I get something, should I be nice? Should I crank it? Like what's the deal? In my gym, at least, they were like, fucking crank it, dude. Like,
oh yeah, I agree.
And you do, and they told me, they're like, you both signed the waiver, and this is 100% competition. Like, don't be nice. Nonetheless, you'll see in competition at lower belts, at least, people will get a submission like an armbar or something, and the guy's being nice. He doesn't want to yank on it, and the dude will get out because it wasn't like full pressure. So I'll get, and it feels mean, like it feels like wrong kind of. So before the competition, like the night before, I get this weird mentality. I don't want to hurt anyone, obviously, but you have to have the mentality like, I'm going to, like, I have to almost type myself. I'm like, if I get a joint lock or something, it's going to be like, rip it. And if they don't tap, it's their problem. But it feels really, really
it does.
strange.
It feels so dick.
Yeah. And then like you see the guy you're about to compete against, right? Or mine I have, and you like know who it is for 10, 15 minutes. I'm kind of looking at him and I'm thinking like, I'm gonna break his arm. And then I'm thinking like, he might break my arm, because I would expect the same thing. And I'm like, and you can do like some stuff can really mess you up. Arms are fine, but like ankle locks, stuff with the knee can really hurt you. And I get this thing, I'm like, either me or him are about to get hurt.
That's what
It's
so my first
stressful.
tournament, I was super neutral, where I was,
Yeah.
because I was so new. I think I was doing jiu-jitsu for 2 months. You know,
Yeah.
I was like brand new. I wrestled in 8th grade and I didn't do any sports in high school. So it's not like I'm like, it's not like I was someone who's super competitive or whatever. And I watched, and that tournament I was so chill for, because I was so new that I was like, if I lose, literally no one cares. And I don't care, because it's like I'm brand new. Like I'm expected to lose. And if I win, then that's crazy, you know? Like I'm about to win a tournament as a brand new white belt. So that tournament I was super chill. This tournament I was a little bit more nervous for. I wasn't that nervous, but I was thinking like, I was really stressed out, actually. Not really stressed. I was a little bit stressed out about not winning a match. I was like, am I really, like, I just really did not want to go 2 tournaments in a row without winning 1 match.
That pressure builds.
Yeah. So it was just pressure. Like if I would have lost 2 this time, the next time I would have been like, I'd probably been pretty stressed out. I'd be like, am I like, I don't want to go 0-6, you know, like I want to win a freaking match.
Yeah.
So I was way more stressed. I was way more stressed out for this one. I still wasn't that stressed out though. I was kind of chilling, but it's just because
I was super stressed, but I do think, you know, it's all about pressure. And when I wrestled, I was like not good at wrestling. I was like average maybe, but I wasn't, you know, people didn't expect me to win, and like the coaches didn't like really, they were cool, but they didn't care about me per se. The first competition I did, it was me and 3 other people, and it was in Chicago. So we drove to Chicago, which is funny because we're white belts, but the coaches came with us. And before this, they're actually pressuring me to compete.
Yeah.
And then before, during, and everything, the coach would come up, and he's a really cool guy, but he would tell me, he'd be like, "You're gonna win this tournament." And
I would have been, yeah. A lot of teammates would do that to me. They'd be like, "Oh, dude, you're gonna be really good. Like you're good. You know, like you're flexible, whatever."
Yeah.
But if my coach said that, if he was like, "You're gonna win this," like I would have been fucking like, "Oh my gosh, if I don't win this."
No, it was the coach, and he's like, "You've been doing great in the room." He's like, "I expect you to win this." And this is
terrible.
That's right before.
That's actually bad coaching.
Oh no, I liked it. I mean,
it's bad coaching. Sorry to say. So? Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I totally disagree.
Yeah, I think it's bad coaching, because you don't want. I mean,
is it because you don't want pressure, or like?
So I'm just gonna go based on what Danaher says, the GOAT. But he always talks. He says you should go into a competition like it's training. Like it should not feel any different. You should just be like, all right, gonna go do jiu-jitsu because I know how to do jiu-jitsu. I'm good at jiu-jitsu. I'm about to whip some ass.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of a better mindset. And that's how actually I think when I go into mindset.
I agree in theory, but then I think a lot of people also say you should train like competition, you know, you should train hard. Yeah. The problem is when I train, like I was saying, I'm nice. I'm not looking for submissions, because if it's not clean, I don't want it. I'm not yanking stuff.
What's your style though in jiu-jitsu? Are you like fast paced? Are you like pressure heavy? Are you like trying to just wear someone out?
More pressure than fast. I'm a slow motherfucker, and everything.
I am too. I'm pretty slow in jiu-jitsu.
So I look like for control and stuff. I don't know. It depends on the person. I do well with pressure. It's just that it stresses me out really bad. So he told me, he's like, "I expect you to win this." I'm going like, oh, it's like, there is an expectation there. And then it built twice. So I did 2 competitions. My first one, the people I competed against were really not good. I was a lot.
Yeah.
So I submitted them both pretty quickly. And so then in the second competition, and this was right before I got my blue belt, the coaches said the same thing. They like doubled down. I had pressure on myself because I had just submitted everybody. Yeah. And then they're telling me, they're like, "You just submitted everyone. You're going to do it again." I'm like, fuck, man. I'm looking at these people who are, you know, intimidating. Yeah. And like the night before and stuff too, I'm like, everyone's counting on me, which is funny because they're not. They're just coaching. That's just how they coach. But it creates this feeling of like you can't make a mistake. Yeah. And I had to cut 12 pounds in 2 weeks. Shit. Both times. So I'm not eating. I'm not drinking. I'm not ordering food at restaurants.
What was your weight class?
I competed at 55.
So you were 67?
I was 65, but to make sure that I make weight, I cut to 53. So it was, Yeah, and then I would actually never want to compete on the day of the competition. I'd get super hyped up like for cutting weight the week before. I'd be thinking about it. And when I'm there, I'd just be like, I woke up, you're setting alarms for this
Yeah.
shit. It's Saturday. I was
Yeah.
like, I could be in bed right now. And that's like
Yeah.
permeating my mind. So I have a rough time with competitions
Yeah.
actually.
That probably it's like adds to my not being like, that's probably why I'm also calmer, is because I didn't cut weight. Like I don't have to release like both my matches. One of them was at 3 p.m. and one of them was at 7 p.m.
Uh-huh.
So I don't even have to wake up early. Like there's literally nothing stressful about it. Like the
Oh,
entire
so
day, like
that's
yeah, I'm
nice.
just completely cool in the entire preparation.
The big team is cool too. The more people there are
Yeah,
there,
that's true as well. Yeah.
the more you blend in. Another thing that happened with my first one, great experience. But like the two people went before me. There was three of us,
Mhm.
and they got gold in their division. They submitted everyone. We
Yeah,
actually ended up all submitting everyone,
that's it.
which is cool.
Yeah.
But they did it like before I did it, and then the coaches are telling me like,
Everyone
you
submitted
like you
everyone.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
like you better keep that up. And I'm like, oh shit, I don't want to be here.
Yeah. I would not like that coaching style, but I also wouldn't like if my coach told me that, I'd be like, come on, dude. Like
Really?
I suck.
Like, get real.
Yeah. I wouldn't like it though. I wouldn't like being coached like that.
Oh no, I like if I have a coach, because I'm too, as a person, I'm so fine with like chilling in
Yeah.
general. If my coach is super chill, I'll be like 60% effort straight up.
But do you think that's bad? Like, because I don't know. The way I see it is, if I was like amped up and I was like, all right, so there's another point that I'm going back. I'm going backwards.
Yeah, yeah.
So you were talking about how you have to like have a mindset of murdering somebody.
You have to form like ill will towards
Yeah.
them.
So this time I did do that.
Yeah.
Like I was joking, but I was like, my mom came in to watch and all that, and I was like, I can't hug you, mom, because she was like, she met me there. I was like, can't hug you,
Yeah.
mom. About to murder somebody. Got to be in the warrior's mindset or whatever I said.
No, I do that big time
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah. And so I was just thinking, I was like, I'll kill him. I will kill this kid. And if he
Yeah.
goes out, then he goes out. Like I will break his fucking arm. Like I was literally thinking that, and I was like, I don't want to, but I have to. Like
No, it's so
I don't
weird
want to
because then
choke him out, but I have to.
after the match, it's like totally gone. You're like, okay, like
Yeah.
I'm chilling, but
Yeah.
same thing. I get like I have to like think about that, and my girlfriend came to watch me too, in like in Chicago.
Yeah.
And like the half hour before my match and like in the middle of them, I was like lurking in the corner. I was like, I don't want to talk to anyone. I want to sit here and like get in that mindset that you're about to basically injure somebody.
Yeah.
But it's
and
good.
that's what I was thinking, and it helped me. It did help me because I was less calm, and I think that was good for me, like being less calm.
Being less calm.
Because I was like, I was
feel
amped up. I was ready to pull guard instantly instead of like feeling it out. I was like, I'm not feeling this out. I'm gonna pull guard, and I was thinking about triangling him, but I should have armbarred him. But do you think that so my teammates, they would always say like, you're good at jiu-jitsu, like you're gonna do great in this tournament, you're gonna kill it, like you're gonna win, you're gonna do so good. Do you think that's helpful or no? I think it's not. I don't like when people do that to me.
You mean like for confidence or
well, people do it for confidence, but for me it's just like, all right, now if I lose, I feel like an idiot. Like just like let me do my thing, and like what you say is not gonna help. You know what I'm saying?
This is why I'm conflicted. I think pressure helps me do better.
It must depend on the personality type.
Yeah, it does. The pressure makes me actually do a lot better, especially if it's right before, which a lot of people would hate.
Yeah.
I love that. If right before a match someone says some shit to me, like,
does it amp you? If someone's like, I think about it with lifting, because people are like, when someone's like, come on, one more, I just start laughing because I just think it's so silly. But I know some people get hyped by that.
You know what actually motivates me the most, like in stuff like jujitsu as well, is negative expectations. So I think I have a very weird approach to that. If someone tells me
I think I would too, actually. I feel like I would be the same. It's a good point.
I've realized this about myself. I don't care about winning so much as not losing.
Yeah.
Like if I win, I'm actually not really that excited almost ever.
Yeah.
But if I lose, I'll be like pissed about it. And I had, when I really figured this out, it's a little off topic. One of my wrestling coaches, I've had a few, like I said, I was average, and you have to tie your shoelaces before you get on the mat, or it's like a point for the team. And I was wrestling up, I think, 2 weight classes at this point. Because I was actually giving my brother, he started wrestling his senior year.
Yeah.
So he's never really wrestled before, and we were the same weight. So I was like, you just take our weight class and I'll bump up. So I was basically, I got my ass kicked all year because these guys were bigger than me, older than me and stuff. And I forgot to tape my shoelaces, and the coach had to come and tape them. And he was like, for real, pissed off.
Yeah.
And he told me as the match is starting, God, what did I think I can remember the quote, but whatever. He was basically like, we shouldn't have even put you out here. You're going to lose anyways. He's like, why do we put, and he literally said that to me. He's like, why do we put you out here? You're going to lose anyways. And you cost a team point. And I got like so mad that, long story short, I won my match, but it was like, typically I would have lost that. I'm certain I would have. It actually went to overtime. Because the guy, I want to say, was kind of better than me. But that negative expectation, I was like, I cannot lose after this guy just called me a bitch. And
that's good.
I think that's the same. I think it's the same with coaches with Jiu Jitsu and everything. If they ever tell me something like, you could have done better, or you didn't, or you can't do better, anything like that.
Like that, that's, you did as good as you could. Good job, or something.
Yeah, it's like, oh,
you did your best. You did your best. That's, we understand.
Like, well, we know how you are, or something. I'd be like, oh. And that's my top motivation is
I might be like that too, actually.
Like
now that you say that.
Yeah.
Because I'd be really, if my coach was like, yeah, you're probably like, just do your best. Like, these guys are really good. I'd be like, excuse me?
Those passive comments where you can tell they think you'll lose.
Yeah.
Because then you feel like you have to prove something.
Or like, it's not about winning. It's not about winning. It's just about trying. It's just about trying your best.
I mean, just go out there and have fun. And be like, dude, fuck you. And then I would have to win.
Yeah. That's good. That's a good point. I think I fall in the same boat. I think so.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely not like that. If someone's like, a lot of people. So this is segueing. Oh, you can actually finish what you're saying.
I was done.
Okay. Yeah. So we were segueing into the belt promotion today. We had a belt promotion, and I didn't get promoted, which is fine. Yeah. But going into it, a ton of people that I train with, like blue belts, whatever, they're all like, oh, you're gonna get promoted, like you're doing really, like you're kicking all of our asses or whatever, like you're doing really good. And I didn't think I would, because I was like, I've been training for like 8 months, like I don't think I deserve it. Like, there's people training for 3 years. I understand that there's difference in like natural athleticism or whatever,
progression and stuff,
but it's like, I can't even beat white belts. Like, why would I get promoted? You know, like, just because I can beat you, like a 40-year-old blue belt or whatever, or like a 30-year-old blue belt, or even like a young person. But even if I can beat you as a blue belt, that doesn't mean that I deserve blue belt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I was going into it like, everyone's saying I should get my blue belt, so maybe I'll get my fucking blue belt, but I don't think I really deserve it. Even you said, like, even you were like, yeah, like, because I trained so much, you're like, like at 9 months or whatever, like you should be getting your blue belt, probably, just based on the time frame and based on like how you got yours and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I mean, it makes sense, right? Like, if I got it, I would not have been surprised. I'd have been like, okay, you know, like, I'm pretty good. I'm not great. Obviously I'm a white belt, but I'm doing techniques. Like, I have some clean movements. I can dominate anyone that's new. Like, all the new people, even if they're like 250 pounds jacked, I can dominate them.
Yeah.
So, but I was also like, I'm brand new. Like, I don't deserve the blue belt. I don't think. I need to train more, train longer. You know, really, like, I'd rather earn it. You know, I'd rather earn the blue belt than just be like, he's naturally good at jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, it's better late than early, actually.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but I went into it and I was like, I don't know, we'll see. And this one guy that was sitting next to me, he was like, you're gonna get your blue belt. And I was just like, people gotta stop saying this. Like, it annoyed me. And I wasn't mad. I wasn't like upset, but I was just like, if I don't get it, what, then all you guys are just like idiots. Like, all you guys are just like, you should all feel bad. Not really, but you shouldn't hype someone up without knowing. Like, you're not the coach, you're a blue belt. Like, you don't know anything.
And that's the type of.
And then he got his blue belt. It was funny. He got his blue belt and I didn't. And it was just like hilarious, because he's like,
the guy that told
and I was like,
you would get yours.
Yeah. And I was like, no, you're probably gonna get your blue belt because you've been training for like a long time. He's like, nah, I suck because I beat him. But he's also like, he's an older person.
Yeah.
And jiu-jitsu is that way. You know, it's not necessarily like how naturally talented you are. It's also how long you've been training, how dedicated you are, like how much you support the gym. Like, there's a lot of things that go into it.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I'm brand new. I literally told him, I was like, I'm brand new. I don't know why I would get a blue belt. he got his and I didn't get mine. He's like, and at the end, he's like, I don't know how you didn't get your blue belt. And I'm like, like, come on, dude. Like, just let me, I wasn't sad. I was not sad.
He's trolling you, man.
Like, I was not sad, and I do not think I deserve my blue belt. Like,
yeah,
I'm completely understanding and actually happy that I'm still a white belt, because now I get a chance to compete at white belt again. And I get a chance to just like grow and be a better blue belt when I become blue belt.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, I don't know. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about like people hyping other people up, like talking, you know?
Especially in that way, I'm surprised that they do that so much, because at our gym, the one back home, I think just as a courtesy thing, people wouldn't mention belts really when it was promotion time. I've never heard anyone say that. There's a couple people after the fact. We had some D1 wrestlers. After they got promoted, everyone was like, thank God. Like, because you should have been a blue belt. But beforehand, because it ends up awkward, and a lot of people do.
It is awkward. I don't care. Like I said, I don't care, because that's not what Jiu Jitsu is about.
Exactly.
Like, if I'm beating purple belts as a white belt, that makes me feel better, you know? Like if I can submit a black, I mean, I'm not saying I will, but if I can submit a black belt that's like relatively trying, like not 100% of course, but even like a little bit, and I submit them and I'm a white belt, like that would make me feel like, I'd be like,
you'd be
got
like,
your ass.
You got him.
You should have promoted me, motherfucker. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, and because oftentimes like friends or people in the same group or whatever, one gets promoted and one doesn't. And especially if you're not talking shit beforehand, but even like mentioning it, it just gets kind of weird. So we would not, you know.
I think you shouldn't. I don't like the. I don't know if it's like common, and it's not like they're not being weird about it. They're just like, oh, you're gonna get promoted. Like,
they're being nice.
Or I'll roll with them. That's what happens a lot. Is I'll roll with a blue belt, and it'll be either close, or I'll like get some subs or whatever. Like it'll be close. It'll at least be close. Let's say. So we're very equal. And like this was like last week or whatever, and they're like, pro ceremony's coming up. You're gonna get your blue belt, because I like beat them, and I think it's on them. That's how I think about it. Where they're like, they're a blue belt and I'm not, and they're thinking, I just got my ass kicked by a white belt. Like that sucks. Like that, you know. And I'm small, like I'm 140. So
they want you to be a blue belt.
They're like, I really hope this guy's a blue belt. And like I said 1,000 times, like completely fine with not being a blue belt. I'd rather be a white belt that's really good than a blue belt that sucks.
Right.
But yeah, it's just I don't know why. I would never do that to somebody. You know, I'd never be like, you're gonna get your blue belt this weekend.
We would actually have
because
at my old gym, everyone was pretty close and like would hang out outside of jiu-jitsu or whatever. And the coaches would always say a big factor in how they promote people is the other students telling them to promote someone. So say there's a white belt just plowing through the blue belts. The blue belts would actually tell the coach, because he doesn't necessarily see it. They'd be like, this guy's killing us. Like, give it to him. And he would, and it's earned, but the coach has become aware, because sort of in private, people are saying this guy needs his blue belt. And I think that's better than random people.
Just like telling you, like if I was like, Chris, you deserve your blue, like if I'm a blue belt and you're a blue belt and you crush my ass, I'm like, dude, you should get a purple belt. Like it's
time for the purple belt, man.
Even white belts would say that to me, and I'm like, what the fuck do you know? Like, you're a white belt.
They just like shouldn't be saying that.
And even if like, let's say I'm like at that level or like close to that level, like my coach could just be like, oh, like he's new to jiu-jitsu. He's like barely progressed. Like I think he has a lot of potential. So maybe he could be like, I mean, I don't really plan on it because I'm not really into competing, but maybe he's like, maybe he could be like an IBJJF white belt champion or something. And so he's like, that's what he wants from me, instead of like just getting a blue belt because I could be one, quote unquote. He's like, no, like he has a lot of potential. He could like win tournaments. He could, you know, and it's a lot.
Well, I think the coolest thing in regards to this that my coaches did is after promotions, he would always say, Space Dust. He'd always be like,
Space Dust, 7 out of 10.
He'd be like, if you think you should have been promoted, or if you know you're like on the edge, kind of, you're getting close, he's like, come talk to me and I'll tell you what you're doing wrong. He's basically like, if you weren't promoted, there's a reason why. And for some people, he'd be like, you are doing well. He's like, you disappear for 2 weeks at a time, all the time. Like you're not consistent enough. And then some people, for instance, he'd be like, your guard game is good. You need to work on passing. He's like, you don't even know a pass, because some people get so like specialized like that.
That's what my coach was talking about today too. Yeah.
You want some sort of roundedness, and it's just really cool that the coaches would blatantly tell you. They'd be like, here's what I want from you, and if you do that, then that's where you want to be. So I like that approach a lot.
That is good. I think most coaches, if you go and talk to them, they'll like, if you're like, hey man, like, or hey coach, professor, whatever, I'm trying to like improve, like I'm not like begging for a blue belt, but I'm just wondering like what I need to do to get there. Like
what should I do?
Yeah, how should I get better at jiu-jitsu? Like what do I need to do to get better at jiu-jitsu? Like how do I reach the standards, you know?
Yeah,
and they can explain it to you, because most of them aren't like most people aren't dicks. They'll just be like, yeah, like you pull guard every time, learn a takedown.
Yeah, like do it. Because I think it's really easy for me, at least, to see the coaches, whatever you want to call them, as people who just teach the classes and go home, because they don't talk to you a lot of times.
Yeah.
And they show technique and they watch whatever, but they are, running a gym to see people get better.
Yeah.
And they're definitely watching you and know exactly what you're good and bad at.
Yeah. And they know your potential too.
And they can read that. So it's good to talk to them, because they'll tell you what you wouldn't hear otherwise. They're like the eagle eyes.
Yeah, it's super true. And that's what's great about jiu-jitsu is everyone can promote, everyone can get better. It's just some people are athletic, some are not, some are older, some are younger.
It only takes like 7 years.
Yeah, 7 to 12 years, and you'll get your blue belt.
Yeah.
No.
Very chill time.
Yeah, I don't know. I like jiu-jitsu a lot. I was also thinking about that is if I would have got my blue belt today, then it's like, all right, in roughly a year and a half, I would assume if I was like keeping up the progression, then I would have been like a purple belt. So after like 3 years, I'd be a purple belt. And I'm not saying I would be. I'm not saying I would be, but I'm saying that's kind of like, I'd rather be like a 10-year black belt than like a 6-year black belt. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So I'd rather get my blue belt after 2 years and know that I'm a blue belt than be like a quick purple belt and then just suck balls at purple belt forever.
Because you're not really ready for it, and you have to grow into it.
Yeah.
Right, under IBJJF, you have to be a blue belt for 2 years. Not everyone follows it, but that's a rule.
Yeah, but who wants to compete in IBJJF?
Dude, everybody.
Everyone that doesn't want to make money.
Well,
it's all about that ADCC. It's all about that. Who's number one? I
mean, yeah.
I'm actually not trolling though. It's, yes, I know that's the rules. But in jiu-jitsu, if I wanted to do it as a career, like as a competitor, I would only train no-gi. And I would only do I would do IBJJF because it's a little bit of money. But if you're trying to make money, you don't want to do IBJJF gi.
Yeah, as a career, that's a horrible.
Yeah, it's a horrible game plan. Unless you want to win worlds and then like open a gym or something.
I'm pretty sure though, people who aren't selling like DVDs and stuff of their techniques, I mean, they're pretty much poor.
Yeah.
But I don't think they care, because it's prestigious. It's just you will literally be poor.
Even if you win worlds, like
you're poor.
Like if you're like, there's 5-time world champions that just don't have no money.
Yeah, it's
crazy. Like it's like, I mean, it's a young sport and it's not a super popular sport, but.
Have you seen? Do you know the Daisy Fresh guys?
Yeah, they're hilarious. They're so.
So they're from Mount Vernon, Illinois, which is actually really close to where we used to live. Like
really?
You can drive. Yeah, it's like under 2 hours. Like,
really?
Yeah, man. I've been to Mount Vernon actually.
Oh, really?
It's just like a small shitty town.
Yeah.
Did you say for what?
Yeah.
I think it was like my dad or something, because it's like a different area. I don't know. I've been to a bunch of places.
Yeah.
It's just like a shitty town. But
it looks
they're living in vans and on the map.
Yeah.
And they're probably going to win world championships, and they'll still be living in their vans.
Well, actually, so that is true. But because of Daisy Fresh, a lot of them are getting like sponsorship deals. A lot of them are getting like,
it's great.
Like Andrew Wiltsey, like the black belt.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's really fucking good. He's making a lot. I think he's making a lot of money because he's doing like instructionals and stuff like that. No.
Yeah.
But if you're not doing instructionals, then you're broke basically. And you have to be like known for something, like Keenan, right?
Yeah.
Keenan is great at jiu-jitsu. Keenan Cornelius is great at jiu-jitsu, But he's only won. Doesn't he won like one Worlds or something? Like he's only done like he hasn't done that much in terms of like compared to a lot of guys.
He's done quite a bit. I can't name it off the top. People have done more than him, and he's quit competing in the past
Since COVID, right?
two years, a little before that too, because he was working on opening his gym, and he would have like a random competition here and there, but he pretty much stepped off of that to do other stuff.
I'm looking at the major events that he's won. He's won IBJJF. He's won one world championship, no gi. He's won nothing. Oh, he's won like Pans and like European Open.
Yeah, he wins everything but IBJJF.
Yeah, well, that's IBJJF. But I mean, like Worlds, he's won once, which is the biggest stage.
Yep, that was like 2 years ago.
And then he's won Worlds at brown belt and purple belt. And he's obviously, I mean, he's great at jiu-jitsu. He invented but I'm saying the reason why he's making such a good living is because he has a gym. He runs a website that has a bunch of instructionals. He has his own instructionals. He invented a new guard. Yeah.
Well, so I was gonna say, and I think he's most known for his creativity, really.
Yeah.
He will push jiu-jitsu in different directions. And maybe not win Worlds or something, but you mentioned certain guards, Worm Guard, and people know the name.
Yeah, they know,
and that's big. Like,
it's huge. And obviously Keenan's a great competitor. He's a great athlete. He's really good at jiu-jitsu, all that stuff. But I'm just saying, like, there's guys who have won Worlds like 7 times, and no one even knows their name. Because they're not like. There's a lot of things you need to do. You need to trash talk. You need to market yourself. You need to do something new. You need to be entertaining. Like you have to have like Sean O'Malley, UFC fighter.
Yeah.
Like he's like he has some sick knockouts, but he's not even ranked in the UFC.
It's his persona.
Yeah, man. He's making millions a year. I'm presuming. Not even from UFC, just from like sponsorships, like Instagram, YouTube, all that stuff. He has a podcast, and he's a
clown too.
Yeah. And he's just like it's the hair, it's the tattoos, it's the fact that he says he's undefeated even though he lost. Like all those things. That's like hilarious. It is hilarious.
Well, and if you're gonna be like that, you have to be either insanely good or like I guess just like Roberto Jimenez.
Yeah.
Super nice dude. All he does is competes, but he competes like non-stop.
Well, also it's entertaining competition.
Well, he's exciting to watch and he does everything everywhere. Yeah. So he's just like a nice dude who like hangs out is what it seems like.
But he like there's nice dudes who win a lot, but they don't like, they just go for points. They're just trying to win. They're not trying to like Roberto's trying to take your bag and choke your ass out.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people in jiu-jitsu are just trying to, well, also Nogi. I think doing Nogi is a big one because more people can relate to it. Like UFC fighters, like anyone who's into martial arts, like they're like, okay, like, or wrestling, any wrestlers.
They get it. They get it.
But if you're like in 50-50 and you're just like, you have your legs crossed in the figure 4, both of you do, you're just like grabbing collars, you're fighting for like a sleeve grip for like 15 minutes, you're just fighting for a sleeve grip or something. I know that 2-point
that advantage win. You're like,
you're like, hell yeah.
Yo, do you know who Pat Downey is?
I've heard the name.
You should check him out. He was a wrestler. I think he was on the US world team for sure. For one, he's a character. He calls himself the Lizard King. He's like fucking hilarious. And he had a mullet forever. He maybe still does. But he just got back into jiu-jitsu. He was not allowed to wrestle for a while because he has some real, like, he's been in trouble in various ways.
Yeah.
But he just started doing jiu-jitsu with like Wagner Rocha. And this guy is an animal, man. He wrestles as good as anyone in the world, literally. And there was a clip of him. If you are on jiu-jitsu page, you'll probably see it. He's in half guard on top. And he's someone who can make money off of his style, everything. He's in half guard off top. And instead of like passing the guard, he body locks him and picks the guy up from bottom in half guard and suplexes him like a 360 suplex into the mat.
Oh, I'm watching this.
It's wild.
Oh my god.
You gotta watch his.
That's a slam dunk, dude.
And he's new to the game.
Yeah, and that's the kind of things you have to do. That's what you have to do.
You see the spin and the drop.
Yeah.
That's the Lizard King.
I mean, that's no gi, dude. Like that's the gi is awesome and it's super cool to learn and all that. I like gi. But in no gi, it's like impossible to stall. Like not literally, but it's really hard. It's really hard. Like there's no you can't just like you can't be in guard and just like grab someone's lapels and pull them.
Grab and hold on to something.
Yeah, it's just like in no-gi, it's so slippery. Like you're not stall, like you can stall, of course, but it's pretty hard. And that's I prefer. I like watching no-gi more. And I train gi and I like gi.
Oh, I prefer watching gi too. I don't think I've trained no-gi for years, at least for years.
I liked watching no-gi once I started training it, and I was like, oh, like this is like it's really impressive. Like when you watch Gordon Ryan, and he's like just doing whatever he wants, and he's like has so much control over them. It's so impressive because it's so hard to have so much control.
Because you lose control points for sure.
Did you hear about Gordon?
He retired.
I think he's semi-retired. Like
he maybe isn't retired, but he's out for now.
My prediction is he's gonna lose a bunch of weight. So I don't know if I'm sure you didn't, but Joe Rogan, he went on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yeah.
And he was talking about talked about his stomach issues, and he basically like has a fucked up stomach, and he's always nauseous and all that.
Yeah.
And he was recently, he said he was quitting jiu-jitsu because he's so nauseous that he can't like even like train. And he was just saying like he wants to be at his best if he's going to train. And I'm assuming that also has to do with him not wanting to lose. Like he doesn't want to be like so fucked up that he like ends up losing and then like destroying it. And then everyone's like, he sucks. Gordon Ryan sucks at jiu-jitsu. No, I don't know if that's why, but I think he just wanted to train. But yeah, he so his stomach's fucked up, and he was on Rogan's podcast, and yeah, he was just saying he can't eat and all that. And I think he's gonna stop eating like so much food and cut weight and start like losing weight, and his stomach is just gonna start being normal again. That's my guess.
Well, I was looking at comments and different stuff, and I saw multiple people say, I guess that can be a side effect of steroids. I guess like roiding can fuck your stomach, basically.
Yeah, I'm sure it can, but like GSP, George St. Pierre, he was training for Michael Bisping. He was going up weight class. Remember when he came back to the UFC and won the title against Bisping?
Ways back, yeah.
Yeah, like he retired for like 10 years and then came back and won. He said when he was bulking, he got like really bad stomach problems, and they basically were like, you're gonna have stomach problems for the rest of the doctor. They're like, you're gonna have stomach problems for the rest of your life. You just have a condition, and it's not helping that you're eating a ton, basically. But he's like, you're gonna have forever. And so GSP was like, all right, guess I'm gonna deal with this for this fight. And he ate a shitload of food, gained like 30 pounds or something.
Yeah.
And fought. But then after he fought, he was like, all right, I'm retired again. I'm just gonna cut my weight. Like he's not gonna cut, but he's just not gonna keep eating as much.
Go back to natural.
Yeah. So he went natural like diet, stopped eating so much, and then he lost like 30 pounds. And he said he hasn't had stomach issues since. So I'm assuming, because remember Gordon Ryan, he was like, he's probably like 185 or 190 as a purple belt. Like he was a pretty skinny dude.
Well, he used to be smaller. He
wasn't skinny, but he was pretty small. Yeah, he was really tall, lanky, like little goofball. Yeah, he's still good at jiu-jitsu. I think he said he was like 185. And now he's like
going back to that.
Yeah. So I think he's gonna cut weight, and then his stomach's gonna be like, oh, we're back to normal, and then he's gonna be fine again.
I think, which is fine. I think he's so into himself to the point where he can't just retire. You know, because people are always talking shit on him, and he's like, no, I'm the best ever.
He is the best. By far, no gi.
People still debate that.
Yeah, but he's by far the best no gi of all time.
I'm trying to think of names because, like I said, I don't keep up with no gi too much. Marcelo Garcia, I think. Buchecha.
He's better.
Galvao. People say Galvao is better. I'm not saying he factually is, but people, because Gordon gets super pissed.
Yeah.
People still say that, and they mean it. They're not trolling him. They're like, no, Galvao is better.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure they mean it, but it's just not true.
Well, even if it's not true,
dude,
I feel like he's going to get so mad about that.
When you see that slap, you know it's not true.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I like Galvao.
That's when I knew.
I like all of them. I like all the competitors.
Yeah, they're chill.
But he's like, I think it's so clear.
I don't.
No, I think it's.
I think he wants to make it more clear.
I think it's. I don't know. I forget his first name, but the Gracie, the.
Not Marcelo.
No.
Voice.
No.
Oh, not. He's got a weird name. Not
it's
Roger.
Not a weird name. It is Roger. Roger Gracie.
Yeah.
Roger Gracie's best gi, Gordon Ryan's best no gi, and it's like, dude, Gordon Ryan submitted like 90% of his opponents.
It's actually crazy.
He's won like 70 in a row.
But he does, and I've never quite understood this because Gordon doesn't make any sense when he talks shit online ever.
Yeah.
He only does like no time limit.
It's because he wants to make sure that someone gets submitted.
But
which I actually respect a lot, because when you're doing like, that's the point of jiu-jitsu. It's like people get butthurt about it, but
Andy comes out with a submission, so like, good, great for him.
Yeah.
But people troll him hard because they're like, you are scared to take a time limit match, and he is. He won't do it.
He took a time limit match. I think it was time limit like 2 matches ago. No, it wasn't. It wasn't time limit, but he was like, I'm gonna finish it within 20 minutes.
I watched that one.
Yeah, it was against Jimenez, which I mean, he's bigger than Jimenez, but I mean, like he beat Wagner within 15 minutes. He beat Jimenez within 15 minutes. He's beaten like all these guys within 15 minutes.
Well, and because he's popular, he has leverage to do what he wants to do.
Yeah,
because he's a big name.
If you fight, even Wagner Rocha, if you fight against Gordon Ryan, yeah, he might talk shit to you afterwards, but you're gonna be famous. You're gonna make so much money off of it. I didn't know who Roberto. I mean, I'm new to jiu-jitsu, but I didn't know who Roberto Jimenez was until he fought Gordon Ryan.
Really?
And you know what I did? Bought his instructional. I bought Roberto Jimenez.
Made him some money.
Yeah. Well, because he's good. Like he was clearly great at jiu-jitsu. It's just like Gordon Ryan's.
Oh no, he's really good.
I would understand. So like so people say Andre Galval's better, which is fine. They're not. I mean, they could be right. Who knows? Different times. Like he's older. He's old school. They're like right now, Andre Galval's not in his prime. So if Gordon beat him, it'd be like, all right, that's kind of.
Galval won the previous ADCC.
He won the super fight. He didn't win the ADCC. So what happens is you win ADCC, and then if you're the winner, like this time it's Gordon Ryan, he's the winner. Yeah. So Gordon Ryan will fight the winner of the super fight from the last ADCC, which was Galval.
So Galval won 2 ADCCs ago.
He didn't win the ADCC. Yeah, 2 ADCCs ago. Yeah.
Oh, he for sure has a lot more accomplishments than Gordon there. Galval won ADCC like 8 times.
I mean, I know he's won a lot. Yeah.
Like literally 8 times. And the thing is, he's in the. Of course, you're only talking no gi. Yeah. But he won gi worlds like.
Oh yeah, Gordon clearly sucks at gi. I mean, I'm sure he's actually good at gi, but he's bad at gi. Like he would not.
I'd probably beat him.
He wouldn't be world champ at gi. Yeah, you'd probably beat him.
Yeah. No. But,
no, yeah.
I just feel like if you want to, as Gordon Ryan, if you get really mad when people say you're not the best, and you're like, I am the best, I'll take anyone. Take different matches. He will only accept one time. It's just like, and I get he wants it so he can do his submissions or whatever, but it looks a little sketchy. People are like, I'll fight you in this rule set. He's like, no way. Nope. No.
Well, I don't know.
But I'm better than you.
I mean, I don't know. I obviously don't know, but allegedly people like won't accept matches even if he does like a 30-minute time limit or something.
That is what he says, but what a lot of people say, of course, it's kind of made up.
It's
but they're like no one wants to watch a 30-minute jiu-jitsu match.
I don't agree. I mean, I want to watch that shit. If Andre Galval was like, I'm gonna fight Gordon Ryan, no time limit, you're telling me you wouldn't watch that? If you had flow grappling.
I would get really bored. I'd complain about there being no time limit.
What if you won in 10 minutes? Sure. I think the only reason why you care, straight up, is because Keenan and him did a match that lasted like an hour. That's the only match I think that's lasted a long time. Was
they
Keenan.
did? I didn't know that happened.
I'm pretty sure it's the only match that's lasted a long time. I could be wrong though.
Yeah.
And it was Keenan versus Gordon, and it lasted like an hour, and then Gordon won.
Well, what I complain about in general is Fight to Win does like 15-minute matches, I think. Yeah. And it's too long, dude.
Yeah, but I mean, when you're watching them, they're
7
stalling,
minutes.
though.
It's like fucking gut. But they wouldn't stall so much if they had 7 minutes.
That's not true, though. I mean, we've seen it. Like, that's the thing about jiu-jitsu.
It's so boring. Jiu-jitsu is boring to watch.
It's boring sometimes.
Most of the time, it's boring.
If you're watching Jimenez versus Wagner Rocha, they're gonna go ham until someone's finished.
Yeah, so make it 5 minutes or something.
No, so make people not be fucking like don't reward people for stalling in jiu-jitsu. You should not be rewarded for sitting there like holding a fucking lapel guard or whatever, holding close guard, holding anything. Like if you're doing that for 5 minutes, you're just holding the guard because you're waiting for them to make a mistake and they're waiting for you to do something. It's like that's
don't do that. That's a problem. that's a problem with the rules, and 15 minutes is a problem with the rules.
I think 15 minutes is fine
You
actually.
can fix both.
Dude, UFC is
no
25
way.
minutes for a championship match.
They have rounds.
Yeah, there should be rounds.
Or rounds, yeah, 5-minute rounds.
That'd be kind of weird, but yeah.
It would be weird in jiu-jitsu, but I cannot stare at the screen for 15 minutes when for 9 minutes they do nothing.
Yeah, but that's the problem, right? That's why Who's Number One, they're like, we're not gonna, like, if you stall ever in Who's Number One, you're never gonna come back. They literally
Which
said,
is
like,
cool. They need
that's super cool. Those matches are all great, and they all are like 20 minutes long.
Oh yeah,
and they're all great. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're all 20 minutes long, but they're all like long. They're all long matches. No, you had it right. You had it right.
Huh?
Put it back.
You don't like this?
No, it has to be sideways. Also, it sounds weird. I think you're sitting on your microphone.
I am. I've been playing with my camera.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just a preference, but in my opinion, the reason why jiu-jitsu is not blowing up is because it's a stally sport. Because
it will be. It will continue to be that way.
I don't know, like Gordon Ryan, who's obviously, like, there's a lot of reasons why he's famous, because he talks shit, because he wins, he's won so much. Like, if he didn't win a lot, then no one would care about him, you know. But it seems like Gordon Ryan leaving the sport, this is actually why I brought it up, because I feel like Gordon Ryan leaving the sport is like really bad for the sport.
No, it is. That sucks. But
yeah,
I think even that aside, I think if you were to make, a comparison or analogy,
yeah,
jiu-jitsu is like the soccer of MMA. Like,
yeah, but people love soccer.
Yeah. Well, okay. I'm speaking American centric here.
Yeah.
People don't like it that much.
Who's Number One is not blowing up.
It's slow. There's not scores very often, right? You watch boxing, UFC. There's knockouts. There's like crazy shit happens.
Yeah, but Who's Number One is like that. I mean, it's not like,
not
obviously
really,
no one's getting knocked out, but you know, I don't think you've ever watched it, because you don't.
No, I have. What I'm saying is, even when the people win, I watch the Gordon Ryan fights and stuff. Yeah. It's not something crazy. It's controlled and slow.
That's true.
And
you're right.
It's impressive because I care about jiu-jitsu, but in UFC all the time, there's something that someone gets a dumb haymaker and it's a knockout. You don't see that in jiu-jitsu almost ever.
But this one, what I'm saying is, like, people who do jiu-jitsu won't watch jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because, like, people stall and it's boring. Like in Fight to Win, it's really fun to watch blue belts fight. It's really fun to watch purple belts fight. It's really fucking boring to watch black belts fight.
Yeah.
Black belts are just like, I don't want to lose. I don't want to ruin my reputation. I'm going to stall. And it's unfortunate. It's sad. Like, it makes the sport, like, that's the same with my tournaments, and I'm a white belt and I suck. Yeah. But I'd rather lose than, like, get a point, like, get a sweep and then hold side control the whole match. I would rather lose. Honestly.
Well, that's what's cool about people like Pat Downing coming into it, though, and wrestlers are starting to get into jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Is wrestling is a lot higher pace.
Yeah. What's his name? What's the dude? Nicky Rod. He's so fun to watch, dude. That's
what I'm saying. If you, because they're starting to intermingle, and if you get that sort of wrestling attitude that it's like push, jiu-jitsu will get better.
But you know why people are coming into the sport? Because there's money in no gi, because it's more entertaining, unlike gi. Yeah. Which it sucks, but it's the truth, you know. Yeah. If you want to make money in jiu-jitsu, stop training gi, straight up. like
throw it away.
Yeah. Like, start doing Who's Number Ones. Start doing Fight to Wins with no gi, and train for ADCC. If you want to make money, ADCC is the place.
Unfortunately,
I think it's great. I love watching it.
Oh, I think ADCC is this summer, isn't it? Unless it got canceled, because it wasn't last year.
Was it supposed to be last year?
No.
I think it's next year. I think it's 22 and 23.
No. It only happens every 2 years, and it definitely wasn't even supposed to happen last year.
Yeah, so I think they canceled it this year. They're gonna do one in 2022. Yeah, it was supposed to be this year. It was supposed to be this year. So it's every 2 years.
But they canceled that shit?
Yeah, so it's 2019, and then it's supposed to be 2021, but they canceled 2021, so it's 2022 and 2023. So it's 2 years in a row.
That really sucks.
Yeah, it sucks a lot. But makes sense. No, I mean, it makes sense because of COVID, I guess. Mostly because people can't travel here.
Yeah,
because a lot of the ADCC, like, there's a lot of guys from Australia, or a few guys from Australia, a few guys from Europe, a few guys from Brazil, a lot of guys from Brazil.
Yeah.
ADCC is great, though.
You know, it's in Abu Dhabi, right?
This year or next year?
It's always in Abu Dhabi.
you sure?
Yeah, it stands for Abu Dhabi Combat Club.
I know that, but I didn't think it was actually in Abu Dhabi though.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. And I don't know why. I read the history of it and I forget now, but it was something like as ridiculous as people were just training out there, and it became a hotspot. And they're like, let's make it a big competition.
It says 2021 is in Vegas.
ADCC?
Yeah.
Fucking
yeah,
idiot.
it's not in Abu Dhabi.
The last one was.
I can look it up. I don't think it was.
Tell me if I'm lying, because I've lived my life thinking.
Yeah, it was in California last 2019. Anaheim.
Oh. Well, that makes it way less cool for me. Not to mention I'm now look like a liar. But I thought it was in Abu Dhabi every time.
I know it's called Abu Dhabi, yeah, but it's not Abu Dhabi. It's 2021's is in Vegas, and I don't know where I don't even know if they've planned 2022. But I think 2021's is in 2022.
Okay, so it's in like regular areas. I pictured everyone around the world like rolling up. Abu Dhabi's a huge city, obviously.
Yeah.
But I pictured everyone like rolling up in the desert, you know.
And they're all broke, and they're like, we just
and they're all poor as shit.
We can't even afford these hotels.
Yeah, they're like business in and out,
back
to the so that makes it less cool for me, but okay.
It's still pretty cool.
But
I know what you're saying. Yeah,
it's cool.
It's kind of weird that it's the name.
Yeah. All right.
How are you gonna finish out the beer?
It kind of grew on me. I
really?
basically haven't eaten anything today, so I actually feel it for sure, which is cool because that's one beer.
Yeah.
That only makes it better.
A little shot ski. About 2 shots. I'm still sticking.
I have to stick with a 4 out of 10. I thought I would rate it worse.
I'm bumping it to a better ranking of 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
So it was 7. Now
you got to factor in the power of the beer. It's a powerful beer.
Yeah, I mean, like the alcohol has to play a role. The whole point of most of the point of drinking is to at least feel something.
Yeah, this one gets.
So you can do a little 6er of these and be blasted.
A 6er and chill.
Little 6er time.
I like them. I'll have one again sometime. It's not my favorite.
It's not my favorite. I don't think I would buy it. Unless, and maybe if we were together and we were like at a bar and they had this, I'd be like, shit, gotta get one of those.
Like, we gotta get that space dust. But kind of for the joke. Yeah, it's not my favorite.
For the meme.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully one day I'll win ADCC as a purple belt. And thanks for watching, everybody. Space Dust.
That was a good.